Thursday, the 12th September 2024, be adopted as a working document, as amended, be adopted as a working document. I so move.
Distinguished colleagues, let me welcome you all to the 47th legislative day of the second section of this 10th Assembly. Honorable members, for taking this job very seriously, you will recall that in the last sitting, I had announced to the House that many members of the House sought to be excused to attend to some pressing matters outside the chambers. That is why we had a low turnout in the last sitting. Today, I'm glad that most of the members are here, and we are going to proceed with today's business. For their victory in the judgment delivered on Friday by Justice Peter Lifu of the Federal High Court in Abuja, wherein the judge dismissed a suit filed by one of the mushroom parties in this country, APP, that sought to vacate our seats in a very malicious manner. Once again, the court has shown that they will always live up to expectation and ensure that our democracy survives despite plans by anti-democratic forces within our polity, within the state, to turn the table against the people of Rivers State. All members, I congratulate you, and we know that God being on our side, any other matter remaining against us will go the same way, and we'll continue to do our job, which the people have elected us to do. We must remain focused, we must remain determined, because Rivers people are looking up to us to remain the watchdog of this government in the state, so that oversight functions, laws that are efficient and effective can be made for our people, and so that our people can reap the dividends of democracy. So I congratulate you all. Honorable members, I think we'll proceed with today's business. Clerk, what do we have on the other paper?
Order of the day. Motion to call on agencies of government to do the needful in view of the impending flood.
Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, right honorable member representing the Governor State constituency. Mr. Speaker, this morning I rise to move motion to call on agencies of government to do the needful in view of the impending flood. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, whereas the Nigeria Hydrological Service Agency and National Emergency Management Agency had both released their warnings and forecasts on the 2024 annual flood outlook in Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, I recall that the authorities of the Republic of Cameroon, our immediate neighbor, to the northeast and southeast of Nigeria, had officially notified the federal government of Nigeria on their planned regulated release of water from the Lagdo Dam following recent torrential rainfalls in West and Central Africa. Mr. Speaker, further I recall that similar release of water from the same Lagdo Dam in 2022 had adversely affected Nigeria's economy to the tune of $9 billion in damage to property, livelihoods, and human lives. About 13 local governments in Rivers State will be at risk of flood. Also, aware, Mr. Speaker, that about a week ago, heavy rainfalls in Borno State had caused unimaginable flooding to the city of Maiduguri, leading to loss of lives, closure of schools, hospitals, and market due to overflow of water from Alio Dam located in the said state, Mr. Speaker. Mindful of the fact that climate change has made rainfalls and flooding both unpredictable and uncontrollable, which the effect is of great concern to our people. Mr. Speaker, I'll go straight to the prayers of the said motion. I pray this Honorable House to do resolve as follows. Prayer 1, that the House do mandate the Committee on Environment to engage NEMA and ensure that Rivers State is not left out in their current response plan on the issue of flood. 2, that the House do mandate the House Committee on Environment to engage Rivers people and government at all levels on the impending flood and their preparedness on the issue of flood, sir. 3 is talking about the omnibus prayer now, that the House do give any other directive as this House may deem fit necessary in the circumstance. Mr. Speaker, I so move, and the motion is signed by me. By your leave, Mr. Speaker, may I lay it at the table.
Mr. Speaker, I rise this morning to move that the motion to call on agencies of government to do the needful in view of the impending flood be adopted to this House. I so move.
Morning, Mr. Speaker, very distinguished colleagues. Isaiah, member representing I rise this morning to support the motion and be moved by my beloved brother, Honorable Governor. I so second.
Mr. Speaker, I want to commend the mover of this motion. This motion is timely, that we should call on government agency to do the needful. We knew what happened in 2022, but I think we should help ourselves by calling on our people. I want to add up in the prayers. I support all the prayers, but I want to plead the House to add this up to the prayers, that the members should visit their constituency and enlighten our people to relocate. Because what happened in Borno took them unaware. A lot of them couldn't leave the place. So I will advise and pray that we should add up public enlightenment, both print and social media, and let our members visit their constituency. From what the mover of the motion said, he said 13 AGs. Members in these 13 AGs should visit their constituency and explain to our people to relocate from where they are. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I want to say that the states that the government already mentioned should prepare themselves, because when it will come, they might not know the day, they might be taken unaware. So they should be prepared and look for a better place while the agency will take care of what should be done correctly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
My name is Honorable Justina representing the good people of the Mocha constituency. Mr. Speaker, this morning I want to thank the Deputy Speaker for bringing up this bill, because I was listening to radio this morning. There was a lady in Okoku. She was saying that the thing has already reached their place and she doesn't even know where to go. Where will she go? Then when the other man said that they have already moved, but the problem is that where will they go? So they are asking government to come to their place and their local government. So I thank the Deputy Speaker for bringing up this bill. It's a serious matter, because right now in Rivers State, the water has started coming in. So I thank God it's very timely for this bill. So I want to thank you. Thank you, Mr.
United today, we are still witnessing the Oba Idema Mboni. We are still witnessing the flood, and our people are still seeing the effect of the flood. We will go back home and encourage our people on the possible means they can move out before time. We are also pleading to agencies to render support to my area, that is all by Ibema, because we are heavily hit during flood. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for bringing in, accepting this motion in the House today. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Brought forward by my learned brother, Martin Amaewhule.
The motion is very timely and apt at this moment. We are already recording flood invasion in other states, and there is need for agencies of government to prepare for this impending flood so that we will not be caught unaware. Mr. Speaker, I could remember in my constituency, places like Sangama, Edamakola, and Soku, we are adversely affected by the last year, the year before last year flood, because we are ill prepared. And this is the right time for us to make our preparation so that we won't be caught unaware. Again, we will plead with NEMA to ensure that Rivers State is not left out in the preparation program that has been made for other states. Again, NDDC, who should be part of the agencies that will strengthen the preparation so that we won't be left out. Our state will be fully prepared. We have those agencies around us, and there is need for us to go around, liaise with agencies to ensure that those agencies do the right thing they are supposed to do. Mr. Speaker, once again, let me thank you for the opportunity to speak. Thank you.
Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Amaewhule, for bringing this motion to our notice. It has become a recurring decimal, Mr. Speaker. It started first. The first one I experienced was 2012, when the flood came. My constituency, I am from a place called Devon. My place was worst hit that year. And since then, whenever it comes, we experience the same thing. So I'm begging on the agencies in charge of the flood to swing into action and be prepared so that we will not be caught unaware like as it been happening. I sincerely thank my colleagues as well for throwing that contribution. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Is hereby closed. Honorable members, let me commend the Deputy Speaker who came up with this motion. This motion is not only timely, but is apt. At a time when some states have already recorded immense impact as a result of flood, at the time when the usual yearly warning from the Republic of Cameroon has already been released that the Lagdo Dam has been opened. I think that this motion could not have come at a better time than this. The 10th Assembly of Rivers State is one that is proactive, and that is why we must take steps in the interests of the good people of Rivers State. The prayers of this motion are quite constructive and direct to the point. The mover of the motion has prayed that the House do direct the House Committee on Environment to liaise with the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, so that we can find out what steps they are taking, what information they have for states in the country concerning the flood, so that our states can brace up to the challenge. The mover of the motion also prayed that we mandate the House Committee to engage Rivers people and government at all levels in this regard as well. Now, relying on prayer 3, one of the members, I think if I recall very well, the Honorable Ufix Kabang, is requesting that members should go to their constituencies and sensitize our people on the impending flood. I must say that this suggestion is a very good one, where we're asking agencies and government at all levels to do their bits on our own as representatives who have the information. There's also need for us to engage our people and talk to them, so that those who were affected last year and the year before last, this same period, should know that there's every likelihood that it may happen again. Asking them to shift from where they are and begin to make preparations to relocate their belongings or vital property is a good suggestion, I must say. Another member also called on the House to also ask the committee to liaise with NDDC, the Niger Delta Development Commission, to see if they have plans to support our people, since Rivers State is one of the states under the purview of the NDDC. I should say that that is also another good move, so that we'll see how whatever efforts they are making, that the people in our various constituencies are not left out. But let me also add that we need to also call on other corporate organizations like schools and churches. Schools, well, let me not call them corporates. Let me just say schools, especially government-owned schools within the areas that will be affected, to work together with the communities around them, so that they can open those schools if those schools are on high ground. If they are on high ground, they can provide temporary accommodation for people who would be affected. Churches can also help and allow people into their areas if they are on high ground. So I think that that move will also provide another opportunity for displaced persons to have where they can stay pending when the flood water recedes. I believe that when all these things are done, it will help to cushion the effects that may fall on residents of the state. Unfortunately, we have a state government that is so confused because they are not being proactive. By now, we ought to have heard from them what they have done. We ought to have heard from them the accommodation that will be available or steps that have been taken so that our people will not suffer. But let's not dwell so much on that. Let's focus on the ones we can do immediately and get going. Our people remain our priority, and we must do the needful. Honorable members, if we put all of this together, the two prayers from the Deputy Speaker and these other ones, which is to visit our constituencies, call on schools, churches, and the NDDC to also render support as part of prayer 3. I think we are good to go. So, honorable members, in view of the debate this morning, honorable members are in tune with the prayers of this motion. The addition to the motion relying on prayer 3, I've merged these additions as prayer 3, which is to urge members to visit their constituencies and do proper orientation on our people and call on schools and churches, and also ask the committee to liaise with NDDC and NEMA. So if we put all of them together, we have 3 prayers. So those in favor of the prayers as amended should please say ayes. Aye. Against, say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, by your declaration this morning, by your voting, the prayers of this motion have been accepted. It means that the House has resolved that the House Committee on Environment, and will add the House Committee on Emergency Relief, that is the Joint Committee of the House on Environment and Emergency Relief, should engage NEMA, NDDC, and see to it that River State is not left out in their current response plan on the issue of flood. The second one is that we are mandating the House Committee on Environment as well as Emergency Relief, that joint committee, and the joint committee to engage other government agencies at all levels on the impending flood. Relying on prayer 3, we also added that House members should engage their constituencies and educate them on the impending flood, and also talk to schools and churches within the area to please open their doors or their halls and allow affected persons or would-be affected persons to stay within their premises while the flood recedes. Distinguished colleagues, these are the resolutions of the House regarding this motion this morning. So I thank honorable members for their contributions, and we believe that with the steps we are taking, it will go a long way in responding to the impact of the flood on the good people of River State. Thank you, honorable members. Clerk, what next do we have on the other paper?
The 4th of October, Thursday, 4th of October, Friday, 2024. I so move.
My colleagues, I rise to second the motion that you move by the law of the House. I so support.
Seconded, the House stands adjourned Friday, 14th October 2024 at 10 a.m. Mr. Mr. Speaker will now rise.
Mr. Speaker.
I'm good. Yes, sir. I'm good.